Okay, chemical reactions part 6. This is the last type of chemical reaction we will be looking at. So total of 6 different reaction types. So this is combustion reactions. Combustion reactions occur when a compound or element reacts with oxygen to release energy and produce an oxide, also sometimes referred to as hydrocarbon combustion. The general form of this is CX subscript, HY subscript, just meaning 2 whole numbers, plus oxygen gas, the diatomic, produces CO2 gas plus H2O. So the hydrocarbon, hydro as in hydrogen, and carbon as in carbon. So hydrocarbon just means it's a compound made up of hydrogen and carbon. So again, X and Y must represent whole numbers, as subscripts are always whole numbers. Acetylene is an example of a hydrocarbon gas that is used in welding. So the production of the combustion of acetylene produces CO2 and water. Natural gas, which is methane, is burned in furnaces to heat homes. So this reaction is CH4 plus O2 produces CO2 plus H2O. And I'll get to the energy part after. Also, all of these examples are balanced for you. An acetylene torch is used to weld metals together. So C2H2 plus O2 produces CO2 plus H2O. Carbohydrates like glucose combine with oxygen in our body to release energy. So this last point is cellular respiration from Science 9. So this is what goes on in all of our cells to give us energy. So C6H12O6 plus O2 produces CO2 plus H2O. And then adenosine triphosphate is the energy that is produced in our body. So with all combustion reactions, there is some kind of energy released in addition to the CO2 and H2O that are produced. So in our first one, the energy is in the form of heat, say flame, and welding also produces a lot of heat and a flame. And then our cellular respiration reaction produces ATP, which is the energy for our bodies. Combustion and respiration burn fuels to make energy. So combustion reaction is making a lot of heat energy by burning fuel, which is a carbohydrate, with oxygen to produce CO2 and water. Respiration produces a bit of heat, but a lot of energy in the form of ATP. In small steps, glucose is broken down by enzymes with some added oxygen to produce CO2 and H2O as byproducts of the reaction. So ATP is what we are trying to make within our bodies and our cells to give us energy. So again, a bit more practice. This time, this isn't the end of the video. I'm just gonna have you pause here. There's this slide and the next slide, but complete these before moving on to the next little section. So pause if you need to. Okay, so here is a summary table of all the types of reactions we just talked about. We are on page 130 in your notes. So this is a super handy table to have accessible because it gives you a super quick summary of what reactants and products look like for each of these reactions. So it gives you the overall formulas for each one. It also gives you some specific notes as well off to the side. All right, and then we've got some more practice, even more. Yay, so much practice. Like I said, the practice is essential for this section to help you not only with the balancing, but also to recognize these different reaction types, okay? So this is now the end of our video. Please make sure you do the practice before moving on to the next section. Follow the schedule as normal.